What do you think of a deity with a jackal head who was responsible for guiding the souls of the deceased on their journey to eternity? Did you know that for the ancient Egyptians this figure was one of the most respected and feared in the afterlife? His name is Anubis, the god of mummification and protector of souls in ancient Egypt. Anubis is one of the most recognized figures in Egyptian mythology. His unmistakable image with a human body and jackal head still fascinates scholars and history enthusiasts today. But who exactly was Anubis? What were his functions? And why did he play such a crucial role in the ancient Egyptians' afterlife rituals? Anubis's origins are deeply rooted in Egyptian beliefs about the afterlife. For the Egyptians, death was not the end but a transition to another form of existence. In this context, Anubis emerged as one of the most important gods, associated with the soul's transition. The earliest records mentioning Anubis date back to the archaic period of Egypt, around 3100 BCE. At that time, he was seen as the chief god of the dead, responsible for guiding souls to the realm of Osiris. The myth of Anubis is closely linked to the death and resurrection of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. According to legend, Osiris was betrayed and murdered by his brother Set, who scattered Osiris's body parts throughout Egypt. It was Anubis, along with Isis, who collected Osiris's body parts and, through sacred embalming rituals, restored his form, giving him new life in the afterlife. Because of this deed, Anubis became the protector of the deceased's body and spirit, tasked with preserving and safeguarding the physical body during the passage to eternal life. Various legends surround Anubis, with one of the most famous being the judgment of souls in the Hall of Mot. When someone died, Anubis guided the soul to this hall, where it would be judged by Osiris and other gods. The deceased's heart was weighed on a scale, with a feather representing the goddess Mot, symbolizing truth and justice on the other side. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul was considered pure and worthy of continuing its journey to the afterlife. If the heart was heavier, indicating a heart filled with lies or sins, the soul was condemned to be devoured by Ammit, a fearsome creature that was always lurking. Anubis, with his imposing presence, presided over this judgment, ensuring that the process was fair. Another important legend about Anubis involves his role as the protector of tombs. During the Old Kingdom, he was widely revered as the god of the necropolises, and many believed he guarded the tombs of pharaohs and nobles against tomb robbers and desecrators. Representations of Anubis were often sculpted on the doors of tombs and sarcophagi, serving as a means to protect the bodies and belongings of the deceased. Mummification was an essential practice in Egyptian beliefs about the afterlife, and Anubis played a central role in this process. He was known as the Lord of the Sacred Land, a reference to the meticulous and sacred work involved in preparing the body for eternal life. Mummification was not only physical preservation but also a spiritual act. The body needed to be preserved so that the soul could recognize it in the afterlife. During the mummification process, the priest responsible for embalming the body often wore an Anubis mask. This symbolism reinforced the idea that the god himself was overseeing the ritual, ensuring that the body was properly prepared for its journey. The ritual involved the removal of internal organs, such as the brain and lungs, which were kept in canopic jars. The body was then wrapped in linen strips, and protective amulets were placed between the layers. Anubis's task was to ensure that the body was preserved and that the soul could access the afterlife without interference. In addition to supervising mummification, Anubis had another crucial responsibility: protecting souls on their journey. He was the guide who led souls through the perilous path to the realm of the gods. This path was not simple, as souls faced various challenges and tests. Anubis's presence, however, provided a sense of security, as he was the ultimate protector, always vigilant to ensure that the soul reached its destination. In artifacts and funerary paintings, Anubis is often depicted next to tombs, as if guarding the door to the other world. In many representations, he is seen as a majestic yet somber figure with a jackal head, his eyes alert and penetrating, always watching. His presence was a guarantee that even in death, the person would be protected. Anubis's influence in ancient Egypt was so significant that he became a symbol of protection and justice, not only in the underworld, but also in the world of the living. The Egyptians believed that if they followed the correct rituals and lived according to the principles of Ma'at, they would have Anubis's protection in the afterlife. His role as the protector of the physical body and soul made him a central figure in all funerary ceremonies. Even after Osiris's ascension as the principal god of the afterlife, Anubis maintained his prominent place. He was revered for centuries as the guide who connected the world of the living with the dead and ensured the soul's continuity in the afterlife. His cultural legacy extended throughout Egypt, and his figure was immortalized in temples, sculptures, and papyri. The figure of Anubis transcended time, appearing in films, series, books, and games. He is portrayed as an enigmatic and powerful figure, often symbolizing the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. In cinema, Anubis is frequently associated with mystery and adventure stories, such as films about archaeological digs and discoveries of ancient tombs. His role as the guardian of the afterlife makes him an intriguing and timeless character. And for you, what does the idea of a guardian of souls mean? How can Anubis teach us about the mysteries of life and death? For the Egyptians, he symbolized the hope of eternal life and the assurance that in the end, there would be justice and protection. And for us, do we still seek these guarantees in our modern beliefs and mythologies? Anubis's journey through Egyptian mythology reveals much about how the ancient Egyptians viewed death, justice, and the afterlife. Anubis was not only the god of mummification, but also a spiritual protector and guide, ensuring that souls found the right path to the afterlife. His impact was so profound that his figure endures today, inspiring both scholars and popular culture. Now that you know the fascinating story of Anubis, what do you think? Share your thoughts, theories, or even questions about this mythical figure in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories about Egyptian mythology and share this video with friends who are passionate about ancient Egypt.